Hello, my friends. Let me ask you this. Have you ever woken up, feeling determined, and thought that a brisk morning walk was the absolute best thing to start a healthy day? For most of our lives, we've been told that an early start is a healthy start. It's a belief we all share, a good habit we feel proud of, isn't it? But what if I told you that very same healthy habit, during a specific window of time, is precisely when the heart of anyone over 60 is at its most vulnerable? This isn't just a theory. This morning, a longtime patient of mine, a wonderful 71-year-old gentleman named Robert, collapsed in the park during his daily walk. Thankfully, he's recovering now, but his story is a stark reminder of a frightening truth that shocking new research is bringing to light. Older adults have a threefold higher risk of serious cardiac events if they exercise in those early morning hours. Now, as a doctor who has dedicated my entire career to caring for folks in their golden years, I need to tell you a secret that very few people know. The problem isn't the morning exercise itself. It's the timing of that exercise that makes all the difference. And Robert's case, it's not a one-off tragedy. I have seen too many good people just like you and me, rush to the hospital simply because they were unaware their heart was being pushed into overdrive in what I call the morning danger zone. So, in the next few minutes, we are going to walk through exactly when this danger zone is. I'll explain in simple terms why our bodies react this way as we age, and most importantly, I'm going to show you the golden window for moving your body safely and effectively. And please, make sure you stay with me until the very end because I'm going to share the quiet warning signs your body sends out for weeks before a major event ever happens. Recognizing these signs, well, it could genuinely save your life or the life of someone you love. Everything I'm about to share is built not just on personal experience, but it's also supported by solid research from respected institutions like Harvard Medical School and Johns Hopkins. Before we get started, I truly want to know how many of us share this experience. If what I've just described feels at all familiar, if you've ever felt just a little bit dizzy or short of breath on a morning walk, please take a moment and comment with a simple yes below. It helps me know you understand, and it shows others in our community that they aren't going through this alone. Okay, let's begin. Alright, let's get right into our first, and perhaps most critical point. Point number 1. The morning trap. The danger zone of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The most common mistake I see, a habit that feels so healthy, is rolling right out of bed, lacing up your sneakers, and heading straight out the door as the sun rises. It seems like the perfect way to start the day, but it's a dangerous illusion. Let me explain why. Imagine your body is like a car on a cold, frosty winter morning. You wouldn't just jump in, turn the key, and immediately redline the engine, would you? Of course not. You let it warm up. Well, your body needs the same courtesy. The moment you wake up, your system gets a jolt. It releases a flood of stress hormones, like adrenaline and cortisol, to act as its own internal alarm clock. Their job is to get you going, but they do this by causing your blood pressure to surge and your heart rate to climb. At the same time, these very hormones cause your blood to become thicker, more viscous, almost like honey. Now, this is where aging changes the entire equation. When we were younger, our blood vessels were flexible and elastic, like a brand new garden hose. They could easily expand to handle changes in blood flow and pressure. But as we get older, our arteries naturally become a bit stiffer, a bit less forgiving, more like an old hardened hose that's been left out in the sun. So now, picture this. You have this thick, syrupy blood being forced at high pressure through these narrower, stiffer vessels. The strain this puts on your heart, it's immense. Have you ever been on a morning walk and felt that little bit of tightness in your chest? Or a slight shortness of breath that you just brushed off as, well, just being part of getting older? That feeling, that is not just a normal ache or pain. That is the sound of your heart struggling. It's a cry for help. And this isn't just my opinion. Extensive research from top institutions, including Harvard Medical School, has repeatedly shown that heart attacks and strokes are significantly more common during these early morning hours. I think of a patient of mine, a gentleman named John. He was the picture of health, walked 3 miles every single morning at 6:30 a.m. sharp. He told me he'd been feeling a little more tired and breathless for a few weeks, but chalked it up to a poor night's sleep. Then, one Tuesday, he collapsed. He survived, but his morning habit had pushed his heart past its breaking point. So, the first and most powerful action you can take is simple. Stop. Please, stop performing strenuous exercise during this 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. window. This isn't about giving up your walk or your favorite activity. It's about respecting your body's natural rhythm. It's about giving your engine the time it needs to warm up naturally and safely. If you understand why this specific timing is so critically important, please let me and our community know by commenting with the word timing below. Alright, now for our second point. This one explains the internal mechanics of what's happening inside your body. Point number 2. Why your body becomes a ticking time bomb. So many of my patients describe a similar feeling. A sense of grogginess, maybe a little bit of dizziness, or even a heart that feels like it's fluttering when they get active in the morning. For years, they simply assumed this was a normal part of the aging process. But it's not. It's a sign that your body's internal system is under an immense and dangerous amount of pressure. Think of it this way. Those first 3 hours after you wake up are like a physiological rush hour. As we discussed, the stress hormones adrenaline and cortisol are surging through your system. This is your body's natural, built-in mechanism to pull you out of sleep. But for your heart, it's a sudden demand to go from 0 to 60. It's being told to pump harder and faster, but the fuel it's trying to pump, your blood, is thicker and more difficult to move. It's a recipe for strain, a perfect storm happening inside your chest every single morning. And here is the critical reason why this becomes so much more dangerous as we age. Our body's internal regulating system, the one that keeps our blood pressure and heart rate in a nice, steady balance, simply doesn't react as quickly as it used to. When we were 30, our bodies could handle that morning hormonal surge with ease. But now, it takes much longer for our system to find its equilibrium after the initial shock of waking up. We are, quite literally, more vulnerable during this window of time. That feeling of your heart skipping a beat or racing out of control isn't just anxiety. It's often a direct physical response to the stress of early morning activity, combined with this natural hormonal flood. The warnings from cardiologists at world-renowned institutions like Johns Hopkins are very clear on this. The risk of heart rhythm problems, or arrhythmias, is highest during these first few hours of the day. I remember a lovely patient named Margaret, who for years complained of morning flutters. We ran every test, and her heart seemed fine. The issue wasn't a constant defect, it was a situational one. The moment we convinced her to shift her cherished morning gardening to the afternoon, the flutters vanished. Her body was simply telling her it wasn't ready. So, the solution here requires patience. You must give your body the time it needs to settle. Wait at least 3 to 4 hours after you wake up before you do anything strenuous. Let that internal rush hour pass. This simple act of waiting allows your heart, your blood vessels, and your hormones to return to a calm, stable state where movement is not only safe, but truly beneficial. Does this information surprise you? If you're having a bit of an aha moment right now, let me know in the comments by simply typing wow. Let's move on to the third point, which is about a silent culprit that makes the morning danger zone even more treacherous. Point number 3. The silent enemy. Dehydration. This is one of the most overlooked, yet most impactful, factors in morning heart health. So many of us are focused on getting our coffee or tea that we completely skip the most important drink of the day, a simple glass of water. It seems trivial, but I assure you, it is not. Here's what's happening. Over the course of 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body loses a tremendous amount of water, just from breathing. You can lose up to 30 ounces of fluid overnight without even breaking a sweat. That's nearly a whole bottle of water, gone before you've even opened your eyes. Now, what happens when there's less water in your system? Your blood volume drops, and the blood that remains becomes thicker and more concentrated. This forces your heart to work an astonishing 40 to 50% harder just to circulate that sludgy blood through your body. You're essentially asking your heart to run a marathon before you've even taken your first step out the door. The reason this is especially critical for us, as we get older, is that our natural thirst mechanism begins to fade. We simply don't feel thirsty as acutely as we did when we were younger. It is incredibly easy for a senior to be in a state of mild or even moderate dehydration and be completely unaware of it. That feeling of brain fog in the morning? That sudden weakness or lightheadedness you might feel when you stand up. We often blame it on a bad night's sleep, but very often, it's a clear sign that your body is desperate for fluid. The experts at the Mayo Clinic have issued stark warnings about this, stating that even mild dehydration can increase the risk of a heart attack by over 50% in older adults. I had a patient, David, a retired engineer who was meticulous about his health. He ate well, he exercised, but he always felt sluggish and foggy in the mornings. He couldn't figure it out. The first thing I had him change was his morning routine. Before his coffee, before his breakfast, he was to drink 1 large glass of water. Within a week, he told me it was like a light switch had been flipped on. His energy was up, his mind was clear. His body wasn't sick, it was just thirsty. So please, make this your new, non-negotiable morning ritual. The very first thing you do when you get out of bed is drink a full 16 to 20-ounce glass of water. Think of it as the most important prescription you'll take all day. It's the simplest, most powerful thing you can do to protect your heart. Alright, that brings us to our fourth point, another hidden danger that's happening inside your body every morning. Point number 4. The blood sugar roller coaster. For decades, many people have believed that exercising on an empty stomach is a great way to burn more fat and manage weight. While that may have some benefit for a young athlete, for anyone over the age of 60, it can be an incredibly dangerous gamble. Here is the simple science of it. While you sleep, your body is fasting, and your blood sugar levels naturally dip. For some, they can fall quite low overnight. Then, when you wake up, that same surge of stress hormones we've been talking about, cortisol and adrenaline, hits your system. One of their jobs is to tell your liver to release stored sugar into the bloodstream to give you energy. The result is a sharp spike. So, in the early morning, your blood sugar is on a volatile ride. It can swing from low to high very quickly. If you try to exercise during this period of instability, you're playing with fire. This becomes especially risky as we age because our body's ability to manage blood sugar becomes less efficient. Our insulin sensitivity can decrease, and it takes more effort for our body to keep glucose levels stable. So this roller coaster ride gets even more extreme. If you head out for a walk when your sugar is too low, your brain is being starved of its primary fuel. This is what leads to that sudden feeling of weakness, the shakes, confusion, or even fainting. It's a major cause of dangerous falls. On the other side, if you exercise while your blood sugar is spiking too high, it makes your blood even stickier and can cause inflammation in your blood vessels, increasing the risk of clots. The American Diabetes Association has warned for years that seniors are especially vulnerable to these swings, and this applies even if you don't have diabetes. I'll never forget a patient named Susan who was in perfect health. She fainted during her 8 a.m. yoga class. She was terrified. It turned out her blood sugar had simply plummeted because she hadn't eaten anything. Her brain literally ran out of gas. The solution, thankfully, is straightforward and simple. You must never exercise on an empty stomach after the age of 60. Give your body some steady, reliable energy to work with. About 30 minutes before you plan to move, have a small, balanced snack. Something simple like half a banana with a spoonful of peanut butter, or a piece of toast with some avocado. This small act provides your body with a stable source of energy, preventing both the dangerous lows and the harmful spikes. If you're committing to properly fueling your body before you exercise from now on, let me know by commenting below with the word fuel. Alright, we've talked a lot about what not to do. So now, let's turn a corner and focus on the solution. This brings us to our fifth and most empowering point. Point number 5. The golden window. Your safest time to exercise, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. After hearing all these warnings, you might be feeling a little discouraged, perhaps even a bit scared to exercise at all. But please, don't be. The goal here isn't to stop you from moving. It's to guide you toward moving smarter. And the great news is, there is a perfect time of day when your body is not only safer, but it's also primed to get the absolute most benefit from your activity. I call this the golden window, and it's typically between 10 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's think about why this window is so ideal. By 10 a.m., the storm inside your body has passed. That early morning surge of stress hormones has subsided. Your blood pressure and heart rate have had time to come down from their morning spike and settle into a stable, healthy rhythm. You've had a chance to drink water, so you're properly hydrated, and you've likely had a small meal, so your blood sugar is balanced and steady. In every measurable way, your heart and your circulatory system are in their safest, most resilient state of the day. This isn't just a nice theory. It's backed by significant scientific evidence. In a long-term study that followed thousands of seniors, researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health made a remarkable discovery. They found that individuals who exercised within this midday window had their risk of suffering a heart attack or stroke reduced by more than half compared to those who exercised in the early morning. Let that sink in for a moment. More than half. Simply by shifting the time of your daily walk, you could cut your single biggest health risk in two. And the benefits go beyond just your heart. You'll likely notice that you feel physically stronger during these hours. Your muscles are more awake and flexible, your joints are better lubricated, and your coordination and balance are at their peak. This dramatically reduces the risk of painful injuries, sprains, or even serious falls, which, as we know, can be life-altering. Many of my patients who've made this switch, like Robert, whom I mentioned earlier, report a huge difference in just a matter of weeks. They tell me they have more energy, their blood pressure readings improve, and they even sleep better at night. Whether it's walking, gardening, swimming, or light strength training, doing it in this golden window makes the activity both safer and far more rewarding. So, I urge you to look at your daily schedule. Find that slot between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Claim it as your own personal, protected time for health. It's a simple change, but it's one of the most powerful gifts of safety and longevity you can give yourself. Now, even when you exercise in the golden window, your body is still a brilliant communicator. It will always tell you when something is wrong. This brings us to our sixth, and possibly life-saving, point. Point number 6. Listening to your body. The critical warning signs you must never ignore. One of the most dangerous beliefs we can adopt as we get older is that new aches, pains, or feelings of fatigue are just a normal part of aging. I hear it in my office every day. But sometimes, these feelings are not normal. They are urgent signals from your body, specifically from your heart, telling you that it is under too much stress. The problem is, many people ignore these signals for weeks, even months, before a major health crisis occurs. Learning to listen, truly listen, to your body is a skill that could literally save your life. The doctors at Johns Hopkins Hospital have emphasized that unusual physical symptoms often appear long before a major event like a heart attack. These are not sudden, dramatic pains like you see in the movies. They are often subtle, quiet, and easy to dismiss. I want you to burn these signs into your memory. The first is chest discomfort that doesn't feel like a pulled muscle. It might be a pressure, a squeezing, a fullness, or just a strange ache. The second is becoming short of breath during an activity that normally wouldn't wind you. If you used to be able to walk up a flight of stairs easily, but now you have to stop to catch your breath, that is a red flag. The third is a feeling of dizziness or lightheadedness while you're moving. That is a sign your brain may not be getting enough oxygen-rich blood. And the fourth is a heartbeat that feels irregular, like it's skipping, fluttering, or racing out of control. Other signs are even easier to brush off. A sudden, profound fatigue that lingers long after you've finished your activity, or breaking into a sweat or feeling nauseous for no apparent reason. These are not just signs of getting older. They are classic, textbook signs that your heart is struggling. I want to tell you again about my patient, Robert. In the weeks leading up to his collapse, he told his wife he felt a little winded on his morning walks. He dismissed it. He thought he was just getting out of shape. Had he recognized that shortness of breath for what it was, a critical warning from his heart, and spoken to a doctor, his emergency could likely have been avoided entirely. So here is your action plan, and it is absolute. If you ever feel any of these symptoms during activity, you must do two things immediately. First, stop what you are doing. Don't try to push through it. Stop. Second, call your doctor within 24 hours. Don't wait to see if it goes away. Your body is sounding an alarm. Please, have the wisdom to listen. This isn't about living in fear. It's about being an active, informed partner in your own health. If you commit to never ignoring these signs again, please comment with the word listen below. It's a promise to yourself. Alright, we've covered when to exercise and what to listen for. Let's finish with our seventh and final point. How to prepare your body for safe and enjoyable movement. Point number 7. Preparing safely. the foundation for safe exercise. Knowing the right time to move is powerful, but how you begin that movement is just as important. So many injuries and cardiac events happen in the first few minutes of activity simply because the body wasn't given a chance to transition properly. Think of it as a gentle on-ramp for your body, rather than a sudden, jarring start. There are 3 simple, non-negotiable steps to this on-ramp. First, as we've already discussed, is to hydrate. Before you even think about putting on your walking shoes, drink a glass of water. It's the oil for your engine. It thins the blood, lubricates your joints, and reduces the immediate strain on your heart. This single step is the absolute foundation of safe exercise for seniors. Second is to fuel. We've also touched on this, but it bears repeating. A light, easily digestible snack about 30 to 60 minutes before you move provides your muscles and brain with a steady supply of energy. This prevents those dangerous blood sugar drops that can lead to weakness and falls. Something as simple as half a banana or a few almonds is perfect. You don't need a big meal, just enough to keep your engine running smoothly. The third and final step is a gentle warm-up. This is the step most people skip, and it's a huge mistake. Your muscles and joints need to be woken up slowly. Spend just 5 minutes on simple, gentle movements. Do some shoulder rolls, forward and back. Circle your ankles, both directions. March gently in place. These small movements increase blood flow to your muscles, improve your flexibility, and get your nervous system ready for the activity to come. A proper warm-up is one of the most effective ways to prevent falls, strains, and sudden cardiac stress. These 3 habits, hydrate, fuel, and warm-up, are your pre-flight checklist for safe movement. They ensure that when you do start your walk, your swim, or your gardening, your body is in the optimal state to receive all the benefits without any of the hidden risks. For us, safe preparation isn't just a good idea. It can be the difference between building strength and facing a serious setback. Make these 3 steps an automatic ritual, and you'll be setting yourself up for many more years of healthy, active, and joyful living. As we bring our time together to a close, I want to go back to the story we started with. The story of Robert, the 71-year-old gentleman who collapsed on his morning walk. I'm so happy and truly grateful to be able to tell you that today. Robert is thriving. He's back to walking in the park he loves, but he made one simple, life-altering change. He now takes his walk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He told me just last week, with a smile on his face, that he has more energy than he's had in years, and that feeling of being short of breath. It's completely gone. His story is the living, breathing proof of everything we've talked about today. And his journey brings us to the core message, the simple, hopeful truth I want you to take away from this video. You do not have to stop moving. You do not have to give up the activities that bring you joy and keep you strong. You just need to be smarter and kinder about when and how you do them. Making these small adjustments, shifting your schedule, drinking a glass of water, listening to your body. It doesn't cost you a single penny. But the return on that investment, it could be priceless years of healthy, independent living. It could be more time with your family, more time for your hobbies, and more time simply enjoying the beautiful life you have built. As we wrap up, we've explored some truly critical habits that can transform our golden years. But knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will drink a glass of water first thing every morning, or I will move my walk to the afternoon. It could even be, I will listen to my body and call my doctor if something feels wrong. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments below. Reading them inspires me, and seeing your commitment will undoubtedly inspire someone else in our community to take that first brave step. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. It truly helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of wisdom to help you live well, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community. A community of friends dedicated to living our best lives, together. Finally, think of one person. Just one person in your life who needs to hear this message today, and please, share it with them. You might just be giving them a gift that could save their life. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.